2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan. Is it really that good?
Roll that intro.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Anonymous Biker USA. Out here on the 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan. Is the Royal Himalayan that good? Turned over, I got 1,050 miles on this bike, and I've been loosely tracking what that mileage is, and it's roughly close to 700 miles of it have been off-road, dirt, forest roads, no roads at all, and then the rest have been some highway and back roads such as this to get to those off-road, forest roads, service roads, all that good stuff. So what are my impressions after slightly over 1,000 miles on a completely stock 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan? This bike is exactly what I expected, and I think that's the key word when you're buying an adventure bike. What do you expect from it? If you're going to do a 70-30 riding, 70-30 being dirt, you want lightweight, you want manageable, and you want low-end torque, right? Low seat height helps maneuver and get out of those things when you're stuck with rocks, trees, obstacles you have to go over. And the Royal Enfield Himalayan definitely checks those boxes. Now, highway, back roads, cruising, you're not going to set the world on fire with this at all. Be happy with 65 miles an hour, 75 downhill. And if you are, this is the bike for you. You look at bikes in the class, you know, the KLR 650, iconic, awesome machine, great for both purposes. It's a tall bike, so you have to think about that when you're maneuvering in those tough single tracks and things of that nature. Weight wise though, it's not that far off from this. It's just that this has a lower center of gravity due to the lower seat height, so it makes it feel a lot more manageable because it's not as top heavy. So it's something to think about depending on what your inseam is. Look, I'll show you videos here. This is me taking the bike off-road in the forest roads. You know, whether it's just dirt, gravel, whoa, tar snakes. Whether it's just dirt, gravel, climbs, water crossings, you name it. The best thing about this little bulldozer is it just keeps on chugging. The low end torque is always there, and let's face it, 99% of the time, my experience when you're riding in those conditions, it's between first and third gear, and that is exactly what this bike excels at. Occasionally you will get up to fourth gear. You can get those little straight runs in gravel, no problem. This thing up to 50-55 mile an hour is amazing. Yeah, look at this old, is this a Corvette? Oh, Thunderbird. Look at that Thunderbird. Wow. I have to get gas. So let's go do that quickly. Then we'll talk about gas mileage on this thing, which I don't monitor. So gas mileage, let's talk about it. I don't track it on this bike because I don't care. My gas mileage is as follows on this bike. I fill the tank up till it's at full. I ride it till it says empty, and I'd see how many miles I got along the way. That's why I got this bike. Now, if it's a long-term touring bike or something of that nature, or you're using it for other purposes than I am, I understand, but I mean, I would guess this is between 45 and 55 miles a gallon, but that's a real uneducated guess. Fill it up, empty it out, count the miles along the way. There's your gas mileage for this thing. So this is the ultimate performer for that mid-size ADV, first, second, third gear. It can tackle any terrain. I mean, literally, you see these things in India going over, they're not even roads, right? But the maneuverability, just coming out of a semicircle there, a roundabout, whatever you want to call it. Now, the stock tires on this are the CEAT, C-E-A-T, stock from India. I'm going to guess they're about a 70-30 tire. And if you just want to take it off the floor and hit those gravel roads, forest roads, all those things, this is going to be fine. I'm going to ride these tires until they're done, and then I'm going to put a 50-50 on, because there are some couple instances so far where a better tire would have helped me. Wasn't bad, but I saved the bike a couple times from going down, and a better tire would have put me in a better position for sure. But the 70-30 CEAT's not a problem for what you're generally going to do. If you're going to go a little more hardcore off-road, go with a 50-50, and I'm looking at the Bridgestone Battle X, what is that, the AX41? Good tire. So I'm going to pull over in the Chevron, get some gas, and then we'll get back on the topic. Alright, since we were talking about gas, I was on empty. I'm filling it with 93. So let's see what we got here. Trickle, trickle, trickle. Those last few ounces could be the difference of 2 miles left in the woods trail to safety. So what do we got? 2.57 gallons, $10.81. I think this is a 4-gallon tank. So the float on this may be a little off. I have no idea. And I don't care. This is my little bulldozer bike. And it's hot. It is just about 90 degrees. So, another little quirk, and I don't care about it, but some people who are particular may. Once you fill up, the gas needle takes a few minutes to register. Doesn't matter, right? So, which way should we go? Let's go this way. Look at this little sucker handling like a champ. Look at that. So if you're in the market for a mid-size ADV and you're tooling around, you're looking at all the usual suspects, KLR, Tenere, you know, you got the Honda Transalp now, not available in the States yet. I think this is your little unsung hero, and for the price, it cannot be beat. Zipping along 50 miles an hour on this. Absolutely not one issue. It's just a little tank. But as I said, the key word in the beginning of the video, what do you expect? Don't expect this to be an Africa Twin or a KTM or a BMW. It is not. But if you're expecting to get that kind of performance, speed, power, and torque for a Royal Enfield price tag, you, my friends, are delusional. You have other issues. So, 1,054 miles. I am still 100% endorsing the Royal Enfield Himalayan. Everything on this bike is stock seat, stock grips. I did put the hand guards on, the engine guards on, and the storage I put on, but this is more so the video about 1,000 miles in, the performance, the stock tires, the stock seat, the positioning, the handling, the riding, the fuel mileage, full to empty, lots of smiles. And how did it handle on what I expected? Forest roads, dirt roads, single track, rocky roads, interstate. I think my biggest surprise on this bike was the interstate. I was expecting it to be horrible from some of the videos I watched. I mean, is it horrible? No. Is it fast? Absolutely not. But 65 in the far right hand lane and you're having no issues. But like I said, you definitely have to gauge when you're doing your passing and how you want to approach people when you get in that little safety pocket, your bubble, because you're not going to have that high-end response where you can just zip in and out of things. So plan your ride your plan, you have no problems. After 1,000 miles, the only thing that is a concern on this bike, and you just got to be smart again, is how you ride. The brakes are fair, so you got to give yourself plenty of stopping distance, the person in front of you, if you're moving along, because they don't stop on a dime. It's more of a gradual stop. So, you know, highly encourage practicing in a parking lot the brake and swerve drill, because if you're right on somebody and you got to make a quick maneuver, you better know how to swerve. You shouldn't be on somebody anyway with the bike. You should give yourself plenty of space, but things happen. So practice your emergency braking, learn how to swerve, which you should know anyway, and not rely 100% on the brakes. But I mean, here we are, we're going 50, right? Front brake squeeze all the way in. It's a very gradual slowing. It's not an immediate. It doesn't grab right away. So just a note, and now that I know that, that's how I ride it, right? I mean, just be smart, right? Don't be an idiot. Rear brake, same thing, obviously. But I mean, for a 21-inch front wheel, this thing is awesome. And for the price, nothing will beat it. Absolutely nothing will beat it for the price. I think we know that, right? Now, are there better adventure bikes? Sure there are. There's a lot of the big names, but are there better adventure bikes for the price is the question when it comes to this. I have to say no. I mean, your KLR is going to have more high-end torque, better on the highway. With that comes a little bit more money, not a lot, but comes that tall bike, higher weight distribution. So could be, doesn't have to be, but it could be a hindrance if you are off-road and you're not 6'5" and easily control it. So you know, all the other bikes you're getting in the 10 grand mark. So this year at 5,500. And this is regular. I mean, here we are, everyday USA suburbia streets, right? So I use a lot of downshifting, engine braking, along with the brake to make sure this thing stops appropriately. Again, learning to ride the bike you have. Smart and wise. Holy crap, it's hot. I think the Himalayan doesn't get its fanfare in the United States just because it is from India and people are a little suspect of it, but I mean, Royal Enfield's been around since 1901, right? Made like a gun. And these Himalayans have just proven so worthy of what they're capable of for the crappy roads they ride. Let's pull in here and just take a peek at it. We got an AC/DC cover band, back in black. See, that's the other thing. Even if you're in the wrong gear, this thing has enough low-end torque that it'll just plow through and motor through for you. So let's put this guy right here. So this is where the AC/DC. Now the other thing, the kickstand sits a little high on this. So one thing I highly recommend is this kickstand extender, because it did not come with this. Amazon, $40. This is really worth it. But here's my Givy crash bars. 3 points of contact better than 2, because if it does fall, it has more rigidity. Do not get the 2-point contacts. They will bend and you will have damage with your engine. So get the 3 points of contact. These came with the bike, stock, awesome. I use them to slide those little side panniers on, soft case bags that I put on. Got those on Amazon. They're great. But all in all, I mean, it even comes with a center stand, right? So, I mean, super easy. Here we go. Right up on the center stand, piece of cake, one-stop shop. Makes it super easy, right, when we're doing our chain maintenance back here. But this thing's filthy because that's why I got it. And I like this thing dirty because it looks better. So, right under the old American flag, 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan. 100% recommend. Do have people that have done a stage 1 on this. They take this little cover off the air filters back there and put a less restricted air filter in, and they do change the exhaust slip-ons or full exhaust. I mean, I think a full exhaust in this is only like $200, which, again, buying an inexpensive bike, everything else is inexpensive too, so it's not a lot to upgrade, little doodads here and there. Will I do that? I don't know. I kind of like it quiet, especially when I'm riding in the woods. I don't want to be loud, so I may do the airbox. I may not. I don't really know. I haven't even thought about it, but I mean, the dashboard on this thing is just classic. Check that out right there. See that? Awesome. The windscreen, really good protection. The headlight, have not ridden at night. People complain that it doesn't project enough. I could see that, but again, there's an aftermarket LED you could throw in, not expensive. I put the little decals on, Himalayan, give it a little touch up with the racing number 01. That's the year Royal Enfield came in. Same as Indian, to be a matter of fact, which is kind of cool. And then the name of the bike, obviously Dozer. But fuel tank is lockable. You have your key. I think it's 4 gallons. Stock seat, no complaints. Haven't had a passenger. Probably won't. And then you have a little 7 kilogram max load for your rear fender bag. You can get a tank bag too, but between the aluminum panniers, the givvies I have, and the side pouches, I don't need anything else. Most day trips, these side pouches do the job. So 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan for the price. 1,000 miles in, absolutely fantastic. So let's just get this thing off the side stand. We'll jump back up here. Oh, rock it. Rock. Boom. Super easy, right? So we're in gear. Let's get it in neutral. There we go. Turn it on, rock and roll, right? Now, you do have people that have done a stage 1 on this. They take this little cover off the air filters back there and put a less restricted air filter in, and they do change the exhaust slip-ons or full exhaust. I mean, I think a full exhaust in this is only like $200, which, again, buying an inexpensive bike, everything else is inexpensive too, so it's not a lot to upgrade, little doodads here and there. Will I do that? I don't know. I kind of like it quiet, especially when I'm riding in the woods. I don't want to be loud, so I may do the airbox. I may not. I don't really know. I haven't even thought about it, but I mean, the dashboard on this thing is just classic. Check that out right there. See that? Awesome. The windscreen, really good protection. The headlight, have not ridden at night. People complain that it doesn't project enough. I could see that, but again, there's an aftermarket LED you could throw in, not expensive. I put the little decals on, Himalayan, give it a little touch up with the racing number 01. That's the year Royal Enfield came in. Same as Indian, to be a matter of fact, which is kind of cool. And then the name of the bike, obviously Dozer. But fuel tank is lockable. You have your key. I think it's 4 gallons. Stock seat, no complaints. Haven't had a passenger. Probably won't. And then you have a little 7 kilogram max load for your rear fender bag. You can get a tank bag too, but between the aluminum panniers, the givvies I have, and the side pouches, I don't need anything else. Most day trips, these side pouches do the job. So 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan for the price, 1,000 miles in, absolutely fantastic. So let's just get this thing off the side stand. We'll jump back up here. Oh, rock it. Rock, rock, rock. Boom. Super easy, right? So we're in gear. Let's get it in neutral. There we go. Turn it on, rock and roll, right? The other thing for the price point that I love about this bike is the ability to disengage the ABS. That is critical when riding off-road. You have freedom to skid that tire around, because as I've learned, it definitely helps you control and ride the bike in the corners instead of locking up on you. So again, for the price to be able to do that, it's pretty spectacular. Now I want to ride that Transalp when it comes out. I'm just curious. That seems like it's more on-road the way they're marketing it, so not sure it would be able to get down and dirty like this one would, and who knows. I mean, you do have the Honda reliability, so on and so forth, but I really can't complain about this bike at all, and the look of it I think is awesome too. So smiles all around, strong recommendations all around on my part. From my experience, again, I'm not some hardcore off-road crazy road rider. Hope to get there someday, just learning as I go. But I gotta imagine 99% of people looking for these bikes, ADV that is, they're doing gravel, a trail. They're probably, look at that house, they're probably not even doing what I've done so far as some of the off-road. So sometimes a lot of ADVers overbuy their bike. Now, if you're like a tweener, if you have like a big GS 1250 trophy, that is the ultimate bike, right? Because it's on off-road and you can tour on it. So I get why you would get one of those, and that is the do-everything bike. If you had to have one bike, that's a heck of a choice. But I like having a couple bikes just because they do different things. And like, I mean, with this guy here, really, it's just fun. Let's do this really little downshift. I got traffic. 20 to 60. And 60. What did that take, about 25 minutes? There you have it. Who cares? Speed limit's 45. Again, not what this bike is for. I just think it's funny. Some people ask me if the bike gives off a lot of engine heat. I don't think so. Doesn't feel bad at all. I mean, it's 90-some degrees. I got full gear on, and even at red lights. I mean, it's hot out, but it's not from the engine. Only other thing you get sometimes, and it'll burn off. You can see right now there's a little bit of condensation in the speedo, in the glass, but I mean, who cares? Really, guys, I mean, if you're buying this bike and you expect perfection, or you're one of those shoppers, for $5,500, get something else. So we're at 1,065 miles and it's 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Sitting at a red light. Other than the normal heat, completely manageable. Don't be a ninny. Don't be a snowflake. It's not a big deal. One other discovery, and it's only when riding off-road. When standing, I'm gonna get some bar risers maybe, because after you're standing for a while, these bar stock are a little low. So 1 inch, 1.5 inch riser probably do the trick. I'm a little too hunched over when I'm standing riding, but it's not a deal breaker at all. I can manage it, but it would be a little more comfortable standing only with an 1.5 or inch bar riser, which they do have, again, inexpensive. So if you're looking for a bike to just go on the showroom floor, walk out with, in the motorcycle world, not spending a lot of money, and you want to be able to meander on roads, hit the highway, go to trails, gravel, forest, service roads, single track, rock, water crossings, this is it. What we got here? A little, some kind of mansion. What is that mansion? I'm not sure. Alrighty, riders and ridettes, ADVers and non-ADVers, tell me what your thoughts are on all your AD bike. Tell me what your thoughts are on your ADV experience, excursions. I'm not slamming any other bike. I like them all. The Tenere is awesome. The KLR is awesome. But the Enfield just fit my needs. So this is 100% from my point of view, my perspective. Any questions, comments, put it in the comments below. Happy to answer. I answer as quickly as I can. Thumbs up for the 2023 Royal Enfield Himalayan. Let's take some yoga. Thanks for watching, and don't forget,
I am Anonymous Biker USA.